just after this short break. And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel, that's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. We saw Kemba Walker lighting it up in the first half. He had 12 points, 4 assists, and 1 rebound. Kenny, let's get your take on Charlotte.
Well, I think they're feeling the energy of this hometown crowd. Sometimes you get a little complacent and comfortable in your surroundings, but no, they fed off adrenaline in the first half.
Looking at Cleveland, Shaq, your thoughts?
They were strong in transition. Seemed like the guys fed off the higher tempo. Certainly, they definitely got the looks they wanted, playing an outstanding game. If they can keep it up in the second half, they may wear the other side out.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
No, it's quick decision making. You see a guy open, you can't hesitate.
Jordan player of the game, Jordan Clarkson.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
And at last, he gets a little redemption. You know, it's been several games since he's been at his best. He's really been having a tough time from Spectrum Center. We'll wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bar's been terrific, and we'll be right back after this. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports, the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. Mohamed Bamba led the way in the first half. He ended up with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
So far, I love their commitment on the glass. Even when they were playing well, their rebounding remained a priority. And so far, the other side hasn't matched their efforts.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
There's no excuse for letting a team drain that many threes on you. Come on, especially at such a high percentage. That means your perimeter defense is weak. They got to close out on the shooters with conviction, even if it creates some weakness inside.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
From the Amway Center.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
Our Jordan player of the game.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Bamba is checked in for Vucevic. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what...
So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And we'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. Checking out the 76ers, and over to Shaq. What did you think about Philadelphia?
Well, I like it, Ernie, because they're just not settling for outside shots. You know, that part of the game is pretty when it's going in. We've seen plenty of teams try that and fail. You got to have a balanced approach. And tonight, they found a ton of success inside. Basketball and championships are won inside out. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
And over to Kenny. What'd you think about New York?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
This one, they're like, hey, we're going to feed the hot hand.
And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for the Philadelphia 76ers. He was a true standout at the offensive end, both with his scoring and his passing. Right back after this break.
The definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan player of the game, Ben Simmons.
It's a take-charge brand of basketball he's been playing tonight. His point total tells you all you need to know about just how good he's been. And once he got going, their game plan really became
From
simple.
Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. Wraps it up for Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. One half down, another half to go. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. For the Suns, the first quarter was pretty even. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. The second quarter saw them extend their lead to 12 points at the break through some solid team basketball. very few wasted possessions, and a strong effort defensively. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Suns.
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket. Just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, Ernie.
Kenny, how'd you think the Celtics were playing?
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
When we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. Folks, for Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Turn. Ready, 22 points in this game. Right back after this break.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, you also have the location of the pass.
Jordan
puts it right where it needs.
Kawhi Leonard.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
Jeremy Lamb's checked in for the Pacers. Terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Excellent execution that time, partner. Don't want to give the opponent any time to get them back.
And so it's Brooklyn with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And the three-point shot has been big for them. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. What a game it's been for Kyrie Irving. He had 16 points, 7 assists, and 1 steal. You could really feel how excited he was to be playing for his new team. Teammates and the coach loving it. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Bulls.
They're not getting to the line or putting enough pressure on the defense. They have to be much more aggressive pushing the basketball, going hard to the rack. Because if you want the refs to make a call, put them in the position to make a judgment call. If you're not creating opportunities for contact, you have no chance of picking up points at the line.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
That's going to do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time. Rockets ahead. They lead by 3. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. James Harden led the way in the first half. He had 23 points and 2 assists. First 2 quarters from him were fun to watch. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
The Beard went crazy in the first half. He took total command of the offense, total command of the game overall. He went crazy. I'm going crazy, Ernie. I don't want to do this anymore.
Kenny, what's your take on Washington so far?
Well, I think their problem is rebounding, Ernie. You know, when you're trying to come back in a game, every possession counts because each possession can turn into points, and you need to cut that deficit quickly.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
$30 points. Back to the action after this word.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, John Wall.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Coming into this game, he'd been having a tough stretch. We all know that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over. Folks, for our broadcast, for Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. J.J. Redick had no problems getting going. He had 11 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
Well, they were lighting it up from 3, and that was the difference in the first half. They did a good job of running off screens, spotting up, and getting rid of the ball quickly. And their shot selection, solid.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Milwaukee.
You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice shots. Those are some much-needed points, and it keeps them right in the game. As long as they stay on the same page and keep working together, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side,
my brother.
That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no
That'll do
let
it
up.
for now. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. So long and good night, everyone. Setting the tone. Back to the action after this word.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. Taking a look at the Pistons, Shaq, what did you think?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling, like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
More NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the 2-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it,
Jordan, player of the game, Blake Griffin.
And tell you what, he's worked very hard to get himself in good position throughout the course of this game. And that comes across in his shooting percentage. He's hit over half his shots from the field. And that's not because he got hot as much as it's because of the effort he put in to get himself
For
open.
David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time. Shooting, they've been dialed in so far from the field. We'll return shortly.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. Nobody had an answer for Mike Conley in the first. He had 12 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Shaq, what did you think about what we saw from Utah?
Mike Conley is about as steady as you get. But in the first half, he was Shaq-tacular. He can create for others to get his own, knows how to dictate the pace, and then you have the leadership skills. Guys on this team really look up to him like you and Kenny look up to me.
And over to Kenny, what did you think about Golden State?
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the boards. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more aggressive on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
Arena, you're watching 2K Sports.
got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Now the passing for the team becoming contagious, this time involving the big.
Our Jordan player of the game, Michael Conley.
And it's been a terrific night for him in terms of the scoreboard. They've run a bunch of sets for him, and he's continued to come through. Scoring as well as he has, it's taken a lot of pressure off the rest of his teammates.
These fans love him, and tonight he's given them plenty to cheer about. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long. Points in the quarter. He's given them all the offense they need right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is our halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Damian Lillard has been having a big night. He had 25 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. He struggled in their last game, but he's not having any problems tonight. Really good first half for him. He was right on the mark. Shaq, how do you think the Trailblazers were playing?
Well, Damian Lillard, amazing first half of offense. Deep, deep, deep range on the jumper. Always a threat to get to the rim. A competitor who just loves the game, Ernie.
How about you, Kenny? What'd you think about Memphis?
I felt they had a lack of intensity defensively. They gave up way too many threes. I mean, somebody needs to pull out the fire hose because this fire is out of control, and it certainly wasn't because of their defense.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
As they wrap up the third quarter with a tremendous 17-7 run. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
This is the versatility you need to play in today's game. 2 guards have to be able to make plays for others.
Of our Jordan player of the game, Damian Lillard.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
Goods checked in for the Trailblazers. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during that last...
For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. So long and good night, everyone.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. It was all Russell Westbrook in the first quarter. He had 11 points, 2 steals, and 5 rebounds. Shaq, your thoughts on the Thunder?
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage. They just need to keep playing smart in the second half and close this thing out. Don't get cute now.
And over to Kenny now. Your take on the Kings.
Well, they shot under 40% in the first half. There's your deficit. They missed some open looks, wide open. But overall, I thought the offense was stagnant. Look for their coach to draw up some specific plays to try to jumpstart them in the second half.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Just go over there.
Nine points heading into the next quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. We come back right after this.
True artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew
Tonight,
what
folks,
to do
for
with it once it...
For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.